John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, over here at the Alchemalan Village, where each one teach one brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We show that we care about the things that we do. And today, I just want to share, and hopefully, I say something that will help someone. Often you hear me talk about decisions, and based upon decisions that you make brings about the consequences. But equally as well, along with those decisions that we make, sometimes, we have a tendency when we using our money. I tell people use money. We don't misuse it. We have a tendency to spend it, but it's a difference in using it and misusing it. And what I often tell people is not how much money you have, but it's what you do with the money that you have and spending it wisely. And what I mean by that, sometimes, a lot of us, we either know someone or experience or had experience ourselves with misusing money, such as, we can have a job and, you know, have obligations, responsibilities, such as a light bill, a gas bill, water bill, a house note, a car note, the insurance. And sometimes we find ourselves, we make pretty good money. As a Black people, we spend a lot of money and we spend it all over. But it's not so much as what we spend, it's what we spend our money on. And in a lot of cases, when we have the obligations and responsibilities that we have, there's such thing called priorities, and you have to have your priorities in order. Uh, you get paid, you work all week long, you get paid on a Friday or some bi-weekly. So whenever you get your money, you have to do the right thing with it. And I guess that comes down or boils down to what we call budgeting. We can budget ourselves right out of things. You can if you budget your money right, you take your money, you know how much money you're making. Let's say, some people get paid bi-weekly, some people get paid every week, some people get paid once a month. So if you know you're getting two checks a month, you know that first check that you get, there are certain bills, and what we have to do is focus on the due date. And some bills are due the first part of the month, the middle of the month, towards the end of the month, and right at the end of the month. So what we have to do and find ourselves doing is taking the money that if we get paid biweekly, that first check is to try to pay the bills that's due earlier in the month. And we try to pay and do as much as we possibly can do because we got another round that's coming towards the end of the month, which covers the last of your obligations for that month, water, light, gas, house note, whatever. But you have to manage it, but put them, like I say, in your budget so you can everything a balance out. Now, unfortunate, what some of us find ourselves doing, we may pay instead of paying the bill. And if you can't afford, I mean, it's normal to not to be able to pay a whole bill, but hopefully you can pay a whole bill. And if you can, it's very important to do so because if you don't, then you find yourself have to manage. And what I mean by that is making arrangements, paying own bills. And when you find yourself paying own bills, it's becomes harder and harder to pay the bill because now you're paying on a bill and you got another bill coming. So if you can pay that whole bill, pay the ones pay everything that you can pay when you can pay it and pay it on time because it also being having a good credit record helps your credit score and your credit report and it makes people don't mind trusting you and giving you a chance such as they look at your credit score or based upon your credit history you would find people that will give you a chance, they'll give you credit on a car, homes, or whatever, TVs and stuff, furniture, what have you. But if you misjudge and don't judge right, and you find yourself paying on bills, now you can't pay on time, so now you're not paying a whole bill. So when the time comes for you to, when you need credit because you need somebody to look out for you, the first thing most people want to know is they look at your credit history, or they begin to, even if you don't have a credit history on paper. Sometimes people find themselves, you may ask somebody for something and not knowing to you, they may go and ask somebody else, such and such asked me about borrowing some money. What do you think? And then based upon how you may have been with that person, kind of it either make or break you. And then sometimes we find ourselves when we know we got bills, and instead of paying the bills, we find ourselves into a pleasure thing where I tell people just because it's good to you don't mean it's good for you. And that you often hear me talk about that, the good to me syndrome, where it's good to me but not good for me. I did it because it was good to me. But what was the consequences? Because you you felt good, it made you feel good, and you took pleasure in it at that particular time. But it wasn't good for you because you neglected a lot of things. You neglected the bills, perhaps. You may not have got enough groceries that you needed to get. You may not have paid the light bill, the water bill, the gas bill, or the phone bill, and which results in either the water getting turned off, or the lights get turned off, or the phone bill get turned off. And today, they got a system now. Most people use the cell phones. So now, if you don't pay that cell phone, it used to be a time you can make arrangement with certain bills, but these cell phones, they don't play. You got to pay that bill right then, and they might give you a day or two grace, but it ain't no, well, I thought it was this day, I thought it was that day. Shoot, the next day when you thought, the next thing you know, it's off. So we have to take the time out and think about things that we do. Think about how we use our money. I notice I see it use, not misuse the money. Some people, have habits, drinking habits, beer habits, liquor habits, smoking habits. Unfortunately, other bad habits. So sometimes, as I tell people and I tell my children and friends at one time or another, you have to make a pimp decision. And making that pimp decision, you have to do what's good for you, not what's good to you, but what's good for you and what's good for everybody. And I often, take pleasure in every opportunity that I get. And I try to tell people what I'm trying to tell you and what I'm sharing with you is because I care. Even when your parents, when they chastise you, when they was whooping you, and not saying it's the right thing to do, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to tell nobody spare the rod or don't spare the rod or whatever. You do what you feel is necessary to do for yours. But my parents, they spared not the rod, and I was raised up and I spared not the rod. But it's a such thing as communication. You have to, and if you're going to do that, at least let the child know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and let them know if they'd have made a better decision and if they wouldn't have did what they did, that perhaps they wouldn't be going through the changes that they're going through. So I like to say that when I take the time out and I share information, when I tell my children that, look, you got this job, you know, you got a check this past weekend on a Friday, and you haven't paid any bills, you haven't did this, you haven't did that, but here it is Monday or Tuesday, and you broke already. You're not going to get another check for another week or perhaps even 2 weeks. So that goes back to those decisions that you're making. Based upon decisions that you make brings about the consequences. And if I care enough about you and you care enough about someone else, we should take the time out and share this information. You know, They say, what good is love if you're keeping it to yourself? Well, love is also a form of caring because if I love you enough, I'm going to share, I'm going to care, I'm going to do all I can do to help you, to help lift you up, to help build you. And I tell people, we have to be careful in the things that we say to one another. And it's not what you say in some cases, sometimes it's how you say it. You can mean well, but you can say it in a way that people won't take it too well because the way you say it, even though you have good intentions and you mean well, but the way that you deliver what you're saying can be kind of harsh. So I make sure that I try, even when I'm upset, I try to take my time and try to speak as soft and as cautious and as carefully as I possibly can because I don't want people hooping and hollering at me or raising their voice at me or snapping at me, even though they are trying to get a point over. So sometimes you can receive what the point that I'm trying to get over if I delivered it a little bit better. Sometimes, it's, well, if they would have said it like this, maybe I could have took it, but they was hollering at me or they, snapped at me. That's it's not good for nobody. It's not even good for the person that's doing it because that's tension that's built up. It has to do somewhat hypertension as well. It can deal with your pressure, your blood pressure, and your sugar. All of that stuff is like a domino effect. It triggers one triggers the other. Being stressed out, and unfortunately, we have these last 2, 3 weeks or so, it's just been kind of hard for everybody. We are dealing with so much death. Every time you look around on TV, somebody's dying, somebody that got carjacked, somebody that got caught in a fire, a family member. I just lost another cousin this past Saturday night or early Sunday morning, I'm not for sure, down in Mississippi. And I had really haven't got over losing some friends within the last 2 weeks. I've attended 4 funerals, and I'm not bragging. I'm not, saying that to say, nothing in particular, but that's a lot of stress, a lot of tension that's imposed upon the mind, the body. We sometimes it seems like we're okay, but your subconscious mind deals with things much differently. Even when you sleep, sometimes you sleeping and you resting, but your subconscious mind is dealing with other stuff. Sometimes you having dreams, you're dreaming about different things, you're dreaming about your loved ones, and or you find yourself tossing and turning. That's because, in a sense, we're stressed out because we are dealing with so much. Uh, a lot of cases, when you're watching the news, who wants to? Every time you turn the news on, somebody is carjacked, somebody just got killed, a house just got shot up, innocent kids, bystanders in bed get shot. You know, that's a lot. Just I mean, even if it don't have anything to do with you, you don't wish and hope or want it to be nobody. Nobody's kid. You don't want it to be yours, and you hate for it to be anybody else's. But unfortunately, it's the time and the day that we're living in. So let's continue to pray for one another, consider others as well as ourselves, treat others the way we want to be treated ourselves. And like I said, let's not forget that this is Black History Month. Remember, we have come a long ways, and others have did a whole lot of things to us. So let's try to be cautious and conscious, and let's not do things to each other that we wouldn't want someone to do to us ourselves. So thank you for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the El Cumalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Thank you and have a great day.
A Kubalon Village presents youth field trip events Fridays 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Ages 5 to 17. $10 per person. Minimum 10, max 15. Saturdays and Sundays 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. $200. Minimum 10, max 15. Includes a Kubalon special, hot dogs, chips, and punch. Akubalon Village's activities and amenities: air hockey, pool table games, video games, foosball, karaoke, movies, TV, cafe. Located at 7701 Harbor Avenue in Detroit, Michigan, 48213. For more information or to schedule, call 313-921-1616, 313-921-1616. Credit cards, checks, cash apps, and Zelle accepted. It's our pleasure to serve you. Culinary pleasure. Have your next social event here at Akubalon Village. Recreation, Entrepreneur Cafe, Culinary Pleasure, Recreation, Education, Culture. For more information, call 313-921-1616, 313-921-1616. John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience. Hey, this is London, and we are here with John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience. Hi, John.
Hey, London, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You finally made it.
Finally made it. John, tell us what's going on over here.
Well, as you always know, that we are multi-testing, and over here, if you would take a walk with me, those of you that remember Truth Bookstore that was in Northland years ago, where after they closed Truth Bookstore, then they was in another location, but things didn't work out quite well there as they had planned. So now they are part of their Kubalon Village here at the Village Store, and this is what we call Truth Bookstore Corner. And as you can see, for your needs, we got all kind of educational books. Celebrating 365 days of African American history. Knowledge is the key to success.
Amen.
And that's every day.
Amen.
And as you can see, you know, this month is Black History Month as well, and we have a lot of African attire here as well. So those of you that's looking for African attire, we have the dashiki, we have dresses, we have the suits as well. We have ties, hats, kufis, a host of stuff and things as you can see.
What's the price ranges for these items?
The ties are running from $15 to $25. We also have the set where you get the tie, the kufi, and the bow tie and puff, which is right here. And we have a few different colors. Scarves ranging from $15 to $24. And as you can see, we sell a host of different things. Purses. We even have the bling bling purses for you that really like to dress.
And they have coffee, so stop by and have a little coffee with John. Hang out with him at Cubalon Village.
I'd appreciate it. Even if you're in the neighborhood, please just stop by and say hello to me. You don't just have to spend money. It makes me feel good just to know that you guys are thinking about me.
But, please spend some money, please.
Please. Thank you. London is definitely my helper. She keeps me on point. And right now in London, she's been trying to get to this candy for a while, so we're gonna fix them up a nice candy package.
Oh yes,
you guys remember the soft peppermints?
Oh yes.
We're gonna give her some soft peppermints. We're gonna build her for it because I know she ain't quite ready for this today because I'm hooking her up. And as well, so you guys will know, you remember the black cow? There used to be a sucker come on stick back in the day, but they're not on the stick anymore, as you could say. I guess you can call it progress or whatever. But here it is. This is the black cow. And then the caramel creams. You remember that? Look at that. You remember that caramel cream?
Oh yeah, those are delicious.
We're gonna make sure she
You
got
can
that.
only get this kind of candy here.
And the sour straws, the sour straws.
Oh my gosh! All the variety, taking you back to your childhood. Get you some candy.
And just in case you don't have enough money, we got the ring pops, the candy ring pops. You can buy for 50 cents and get engaged.
Oh yes.
We're gonna make sure
Get married.
London is straight when she leave here. She gonna know she been to the candy store. And these are the BB bats.
Oh my God! Bring the kids, bring the babies for a little candy.
I remember the little Kool-Aid straw, the pixie sticks.
Yes.
We got the pixie sticks. We have the Sour Patch Kids. And don't forget the Mary Jane.
Oh yeah.
Mary Jane, baby. Mary Jane.
All right.
We're gonna make sure she got enough of them and the bitter honeys. Give us some of these bitter honeys. Let me get some of these out of here.
Look at these prices. You can only find these prices over here.
And those of you, I know this is gonna take you way back. Y'all remember the Big Bow candy bar? I mean the Big Bow candy with the little bubble gum in the middle?
Yeah.
Well, here it is.
John knows how to find all the secrets. The classic candy that you can't find anywhere.
Smarties. Be sure she got some Smarties, some Tootsie Rolls.
Yummy.
I know this gonna mess some of you guys up because it's hard to find. Black taffy.
Oh my God.
Alias, they used to call them Black Jack. They call them Black Taffies now.
I never tried that. I'm going to try
Yeah,
that.
you have to try that. And the peppermint sticks. Have to make sure London is taken care of. Oh, you know, they got a Chinese restaurant that walk with Wu. I tell people walk with John.
Walk with John.
We have the chews. Now back in the day, these was a penny. Now they 5 cents.
Wow.
But we talking almost 40 years ago.
Well, that's still good value. That's still some good value right there.
Oh, London, I'm running out of room. I guess you gotta open up your pockets.
I'm ready.
You got the fruities, all flavored fruities. The apple, blueberry, fruit punch, watermelon, lemonade. Oh my goodness, look at that. I gotta find something else.
What?
You got the airheads down here. soft tabbies. We'll work this out, London. Don't worry about it. It'll just be piled up for right now, but we'll work it out. Y'all remember the charm suckers, of course.
Oh, yeah. Christmas at John's place.
Sweet and sour suckers.
Yeah, you don't have to do trick or treat. Just come over here.
Don't be surprised if you don't get treated like London. You do understand.
Like London said, oh,
Well, if you got the money, you can get this. But
Yeah.
you see the prices. Come on, starting at 5 cents. You can do that.
Y'all remember cooperation makes good business. And you know, London and I, we are also partners with the brand Familiated.
brand affiliate.
Brand Affiliated. So y'all make sure y'all get with London and John, the candy man, the barbecue man, and all of that other good stuff.
I'm gonna have to come on barbecue day if I get treats like this.
Oh yeah, look at that, look at that, look at that.
Amen. Get your candy gift basket.
London, you like candy
All
bars?
there.
What's your favorite candy bars, London? You like chocolates?
Yes, I do. What you ask me that for? All right. You trying to buy something, baby?
Oh no, don't mind me. Take your time.
And y'all check this out. I am one of the few stores that still sell candy bars for $1.
Are you serious?
Yes, look at that price on that. All the candy bars, $1.
I've been coming here for a number of years now. Details don't lie.
We got testimonial back there.
Testimonial.
Yeah, that brother, he's faithful every week. Skittles and, oh man. I know this gonna bring back some of y'all memory. Chocos. Now, I know you had to be a 50s baby to know something about an abazaba.
For my time.
Abazaba. Yep. That's back in the day. That's that taffy with the peanut butter in the middle of it. Yeah, that's definitely old school.
Okay, I'm gonna sit at the table and do another video.
Okay, but guys, I hope y'all really appreciate this here. I really appreciate it. As you can see that I'm showing it by the things that I do. I'm making sure that it come on back in London.
Okay. I had to get permission
trying to act
first.
like you're all brand new. You're a part of this
Thank
here.
you, John.
London helped put us on the map, and I really appreciate our support. Cooperation makes good business, you guys. Remember that. So remember to collaborate and cooperate with one another. Because if you don't make business, it don't make sense. Thank you.
That's coming from John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience. Amen. John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.